Hello, today we're in the West Highlands. We've got a sea level start and we've got a mountain bike and climb of 9 tops ahead. We're at Clellan at the head of Loch Long near Creag Ghlas to climb Mullach Sithidh, the Munro and its tops, and the northern tops of the Munro, Càrn and Dheiragain. Today's route starts at Clellan at the head of Loch Long and follows the track up Glenelg for about 10.5 kilometres, about 6.5 miles on the mountain bike to Càrn, and then from there we're taking the Stalker's Path to the southeast up onto the first top of the day, a Corbett top, Creag Ghlas, and then continuing up to the Munro top of Stùc Mhòr. From there we're traversing over to the east to take in the Corbett top of Druim Bheag, and then from there heading south to the Munro tops of Stùc Mhòr and Stùc Bheag. Then heading east, traversing the north face of Càrn and Dheiragain over to the ridge that runs south to north on the Munro Mullach Sithidh, and we're climbing all the tops on Mullach Sithidh from south to north, then heading down to the north and then following another path to the west that takes us back down into Glenelg at Àird Lodge, and then on the track back to Càrn, and then back on the mountain bike and following that outward route back to Clellan. finished the mountain bike in from Cullelan to Càrn. It's about 6.5 miles, but 10.5 k. Fantastic quality of track, metalled road some of the way as well. The only slight hold up was a rather long detour around some mixed cattle with some very young calves, but good progress anyway. So you can see Loch na Leitrim in the background. We've got Càrn here. We're just crossing the river Elchig. We're about to head up the Stalker's Path onto the first Corbett top of the day, Creag Ghlas. We're actually still only about 80 metres or 250 feet above sea level, so quite a long climb ahead. We're on the summit now of Creag Ghlas, 855.6 metres, 2,807 feet, grey green crag. It's a Corbett top and it's the first of 9 tops we're doing today. After leaving this summit, we're heading over to the Monroe top of Stùc Mhòr, and then we're taking in the Corbett top of Druim Bheag, and then heading to the southwest to take in the Monroe tops of Stùc Mhòr and Stùc Bheag. All 5 of these first tops are on the Monroe Sgúr and Càrn, but we're not doing that Monroe today. That'll be a future episode. We're heading then over to the east to take in the Monroe of Mullach Sithidh, and it's got 3 other tops on its ridge: Càrn Con Dhu, Monroe top, Mullach Sithidh, another Monroe top, and a delete top of Creag Ghlas Àird, east top. And then from there we're heading north to hit the footpath that runs west from the end of Loch Millardach down to Iron Lodge, and then following the track back to Càrn. We're on the summit of the first Munro top of the day, Stùc Mhòr, 918.4 metres, 3,013 feet, jagged peak of the heathery corrie. And from here we're going to head to the top just in the middle distance, which is called Druim Bheag. And to get there we've got a bit of a descent, and we're going to kind of traverse round Choire, passing by the end of the loch there and heading over to the ridge of Druim Bheag. And then from there we're following the ridge back up towards Stùc Mhòr and Stùc Bheag, which are both in the cloud. And then we've got another corrie traverse to do past Loch to get to the Bealach between Càrn and Mullach Sithidh. So really quite interesting little lochan in the background there, lochan Choire. I don't know if you can just make out, looks like there's a little Creag quite near the middle in the centre of the frame there. So I might go down and investigate that a little bit further. Just down at lochan Choire now, and rather than being a Creag, which would be really quite a wild place to have one, it's a strategically placed rock. Also spotted what I think is a diver. Probably can't see it until I zoom, but pretty rare species. I'll do some identification later on. So now heading from here to the Corbett top of Druim Bheag. We're on the summit of Druim Bheag, 767 metres, 2,516 feet, little narrow ridge. It's a Corbett top, just qualifies under the 50 feet prominence criteria, so one of the kind of less defined Corbett tops. But we're heading now from here along the ridge just in the background, up to take in the two Munro tops. You could just see at the top of the ridge there, Stùc Mhòr and then Stùc Bheag. And they'll be traversing round onto the ridge just across the other side of the sort of deep glen just there. Càrn Con Dhu, the Munro top, and then the Munro of Mullach Sithidh, Munro top of Mullach Sithidh, and can't quite make out just over the back the deleted top, which is the final top of the day, Creag Ghlas Àird east top. Looks pretty close, but we've got a bit of a circuit to do before we get over to today's Munro. So we're now going to head to the southwest, up towards the next Munro top of Stùc Mhòr. We're on the summit of Stùc Mhòr, 1041.6 metres, 3,417 feet. Big jagged peak, and it's a Monroe top, and it's the penultimate top we're doing on Càrn and Càrn. You can see the final Monroe top, which is the next one on the ridge, which is Stùc Bheag. Stùc Bheag is actually higher than Stùc Mhòr, so I think the Mhòr and Bheag refer to the bulk of the peak rather than the height. You can see the Monroe of Càrn and Càrn in the background. That's for another day, tempting though it is. So after Stùc Bheag we're heading round by An, which you can see just in the centre of the picture there. And then we're heading over to the Bealach before making our way onto the ridge that leads over Càrn and Con Dhu to the Monroe of Mullach Dheiragain. You can see Mullach Sithidh, the Monroe top. You still can't see the final top of the day, which is the deleted top, Creag Ghlas Àird east top. So heading now for the high point of the day, Stùc Bheag. On the summit of Stùc Bheag, 1074.9 metres, 3,526 feet, small jagged peak, and today's high point. You can see the Monroe of Càrn and Càrn in the background, enticingly close. We can make out about half a dozen people on the ridge on the way up to the summit, but compared to the tops I've just done earlier today, it's a bit like the Hillary Step over there. So just about to descend and make our second Choire traverse of the day, passing An, you can see there, and then heading to the Bealach between Càrn and Càrn and Mullach Dheiragain, and then heading all the way down the ridge to the north, slightly northeast. So just going to finish the break here and then head straight down into the Choire. Just at the Bealach between Càrn and Càrn and Mullach Dheiragain. We're looking down the Glen Shea, classic U-shape there. I'm looking into the distance up towards the hills at the west end of Loch Monar. Looking round the Mullach Dheiragain ridge, Càrn and looking round to An, and then up the ridge to Càrn and Càrn. Fantastic stuff. And then just circling round Stùc Bheag and Stùc Mhòr, and looking down the ridge towards Druim Bheag there as well. Fantastic. the summit of Càrn, Con Dhu, 967 metres, 3,172 feet, Càrn of the Black Dogs. There's three potential summits to this top. I'm at the spot height on the map of 967 metres. There are a couple of other tops just along the ridge in the background there, one of which has got some quite black rocks that form the summit of the top, that could refer to the Black Dogs in the top name, so we'll check that out when we go over there. Anyway, beautiful afternoon, clouds above all the tops now, so getting good panoramas, and just about to head north along the ridge towards the Dheiragain Monroe, Mullach Sithidh. Go! Get to the chopper! We're on the summit of the Monroe Mullach Sithidh, 982 metres, 3,221 feet, summit of the Kestrels. Haven't seen any of those today. You can see just where we've come from along the ridge from Càrn, Con Dhu, Càrn and Choire in the background. Clarity has improved during the day as well. See the hills just to the north of Loch Cluny. Moving round Mam Sol, Carney, Ben Yumley, and then you've got the four Monroes on the north side of Loch Mullardach there as well, and Socach, and Rhíomhach, Scuarnalapach and Càrn Gower. So we're just going to head over to the last Monroe top of the day, Mullach Sithidh, and then you can just see in the distance the first view we've had today of the deleted top, Creag Ghlas Àird East top. It's the little pointy one on the ridge, just in the middle distance there. So just heading off to the next Monroe top, Mullach Sithidh. On the last Monroe top of the day, Mullach Sithidh, 974 metres, 3,195 feet. Possible translations include summit of the striding, summit of the dashing, or summit of the snatching. My guess is summit of the snatching. The glen that runs to the west alongside Mullach Sithidh It's called Glen Sheag, ideal for snatching cattle and hiding them there, a bit akin to the Lost Valley in Glencoe really. From here I've got one more top to do. It's the deleted top of Creag Ghlas Àird East Top. Just come across what can only be described as an unexpected and spectacular location for a dwarf rowan tree. Fantastic stuff. If I just zoom back, it's pretty much on the edge of a precipice, very near the summit of Creag Ghlas Àird East Top. Fantastic. The final top of the day, Creag Ghlas Àird East Top, 933 metres, 3,061 feet, crag of the High Choire. Choire in question isn't the one that kind of drops off there, that's Choire na Dheiragain Bheag. Choire Àird is the one just behind me now, which is to the northwest of this top, and we're following that all the way down to meet the footpath coming down from Glen Sheag, and then that intersects with the footpath coming west from the end of Loch Mullach. Following that for about 3 kilometres, about 2 miles back down to Iron Lodge, and then hitting the track for 2 kilometres, just over a mile from there back to Càrn to pick up the bike, and then we've got the 6.5 mile, 10.5k cycle back to Càrn. Just leaving Càrn on the bike now. It's going to be a link on the hoof, this one. The famous West Coast midges have made an appearance, so can't really hang around too much. So we've got a 6.5 mile, 10.5k bike back down from Càrn, down Glen Bheag to Càrn. Hopefully the cattle aren't on the road. If so, it might be another detour. But we'll just see what happens when we get down about halfway down the glen. Back at Clellan now. That was just under 13 hours round trip. That included a 13 mile 21k bike in total there and back, and about 24.5k, about 15.5 miles on foot, completing 9 tops. What an excellent day. Some excellent ridge walking, particularly on Druim Bheag and Mullach Sithidh. But definitely the highlights of the day were seeing the black-throated diver and also the dwarf rowan tree growing over 3,000 feet. Midges are out in force. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you can join me again for episode 13, and until then, cheery and drast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider donating to your local mountain rescue team. Don't forget to hit subscribe.